You touched on family structure, family dynamics earlier. Were your parents encouraging of you being in the entertainment industry?
My parents were not at all encouraging to the industry. They were adamantly no. I'm a child of foreigners, immigrants from Jamaica. My dad, and he came to this country with a very specific dream to make a better opportunity for himself, of course, but his children. So he came here, and not too long later, he had me and my brothers. So you get a job, you get benefits, you build like the American dream that he had in his mind of what it is. I grew up here though. I saw other dreams in America that could be accomplished. So I had a totally different idea of that. And also I'm the kind of the, I guess, unconventional one in the family when it comes to structure. So I was just always that problem child that would not follow this beaten path. Like, hey, stay here. And I'm like, what's over there? So no, they were not supportive. Now they're very supportive. So I would encourage anyone dealing with that, like where family is maybe causing an extra layer of stress because they don't agree or believe in what your dreams are. It's okay. I think a really good book for that is called The Dream Giver. It goes on a journey and the person experiences a lot of that. And it shows you that's fine. They're just not going to understand this moment, but they're not coming from a negative space. And I think if someone told me that early on, it would have been so much easier just to say, I respect your opinion and then continue to move rather than, why are they so hateful towards me? Why won't they respect and support my dreams? It's like, it's okay. They're worried about you. They care about you. They know what's best for you in their own limited way. So it's okay if you saw another way. It's okay if you see an expanded way, but respect their disagreement and then go about your way with the confidence that what you have in you, that dream, was put there with a purpose, and you're gonna achieve that dream if you don't let that discourage you.
How did you show them that this is what you wanted to do and you still love them and you're glad maybe that they're worried for you, but this is who you are? How did you show them that?
I think I showed them it by not quitting. I quit a lot of things as a little kid. And I really think that's because I'm a very definitive person. So if I've already decided what I want to do and I start something else, I'm not going to be happy about it. So I'll play the trumpet, no, quit it. I'll go out for this, quit it, things like that. So they would think, oh, she's going to go on this road and then maybe quit. There were things that showed them I don't stick to things other than this. Why would that be the thing? So if I'm so dedicated to that one thing or dedicated to, success in school or something, you pick one or the other. They want school. It's like, go to college, get this degree, and then go off and have this particular career. So I showed them by sticking to what I said that I wanted to do. And I think sometimes people just need to be proven wrong and do it by your actions, not by your words. So I stopped arguing. I didn't, keep saying, look what I did. And I didn't even keep them posted on a lot of things. I kept them posted when things happened that I knew that would mean something to them from a limited perspective. So it's like, hey, I just got hired to AD a feature film. Are you getting paid? Yep, I'm getting paid. Rather than telling him the one I did that I wasn't paid for, So it's like, you don't have to keep them up to date in your journey because that's going to cause frustration. They're not going to be excited about it. But when something happens where you feel like, okay, this is a moment in time that I can share and still don't be dependent on their reaction, but they might have a good reaction to this. Let me go ahead and share it. I think that's the best way to handle that family pushback on your career.
Do you think also because the last decade in the United States and other parts of the world, we've seen that safe route isn't necessarily safe?
That's good. Yeah, I think it's becoming far more clear now than say 20 years ago that there are other ways. People are starting businesses while they're having jobs and things like that. But also I think there's fear involved whenever someone's very cautious. There is a fear element to it. And identifying what the fear is, I think for my dad, he grew up in a family that was very wealthy in Jamaica, and he watched them lose their wealth, drastically. It was a drastic thing. They owned horse track races and real estate, and not the whole family, but the part that he was in. They lost their money, and it caused a huge strain. It caused a lot of problems for him in childhood. So that fear that he was coming from was real, but it wasn't going to happen in my life because I had him as a father. So I think once he started to trust that he gave me something that I'm applying in a different way, then that shows him I can make it, because he gave me the work ethic. He showed me to work hard. He gave me integrity, like always treat people the way you want to be treated, and then some, you know, be honest. All those things I got from him. I just applied it in a different arena. So yeah, I think just kind of seeing what you know is truth applied differently can help expand people's minds too. Yeah.
So when they say like the child always kind of does the opposite of what the parent wants, when you saw that your father, for very good reason, was fearful, did that make you have like more, let's say, bravery? Did that make you almost want to prove that fear wrong?
That's interesting. I never thought of it as I was trying to prove him wrong. It might have been something in there, because when you said it kind of connected. It might have been some of that in there behind the scenes. But I think my brothers, they went on a more traditional route in their careers. They kind of followed that a little differently, but followed it. But I think for me, I would say what I can agree with on that end is I know my dad and other people that I know that were more in a traditional way had other dreams. And to see them later in life, now trying to fit them into their lives, it's much more difficult to do it later. It's very possible. Mary Kay did it and so many others, but it's harder because you already have such a way established. I knew that I couldn't like do what he said, like, well, just do this and then go back to that. Well, that's what you did. And I couldn't say that to him, like, Dad, that doesn't work. But I saw him do that, and I saw maybe a certain discontentment with certain things that would have been different if he would have went another way, but he didn't have that opportunity. He had to establish what made my dreams possible. He had to establish the structure and so forth. So yeah, I think that's definitely something that kind of fits into how it happened.
Like the Jim Carrey documentary, where he talked about his dad, and same thing, he wanted to provide for his family, he really cared for them, but then to see his dad lose his job in his like early 50s. And he really had wanted to be a musician, I guess.
Right.
And that really stayed with him.
Yeah, it's something you'll never forget if it happens to you in a way that where your parents can show vulnerability when you're younger. It's a tough thing because kids usually see their parents as just strength. It's just strength, and then you kind of lose that fantasy later on. But I actually saw that happen, and I think for me, my dad is a truck driver for a company, but he also did real estate. And when the real estate market went kaput, I mean, he literally lost more than half his income within, like, it was immediate. It was immediate for most people. And the prudence that my dad had, he saved so much money. We always lived way below our means. So it didn't affect him where he lost a house or anything. But I saw something of, this was the plan doesn't work. That's what I saw in his eyes. So if the plan might not work, even the safe one, why not go against the safe and just try it? Like, especially when you're younger, it's like, go for it. Why not? So, yeah.
Do you think that's where your courage to be an artist comes from?
That's a good question. I think courage is applied in all aspects. I think courage for me and confidence comes from work. When you do things, you see you can do things, and then you get confidence. And when you get confidence, you get more courage to go to the next level. Like, I'm not sure I can do that, but I've already done something I wasn't sure of, and then I can go forth and do more. So playing sports young, being the only girl in a bunch of brothers and cousins and all guys on my block and getting to play football with them, and then actually getting them like, whoa, she did it. She caught the ball when they thought I wouldn't. Like little things like that, I think all is a part of building a good foundation of confidence. And then you get to school and then you're like, oh, do I take the AP classes? Let me go ahead and try, even though I might fail the first time, but then you do well and you're like, wow, you know what? Next year I'm taking all AP classes or whatever it is. Like little wins along the way, I think help build our confidence, which ultimately builds the courage to walk off where you're not really sure what's next. Yeah.